Hello, Reddit readers and listeners, and welcome to Woven Webs, where we bring you life and relationship stories ranging from the somewhat typical to those on the very fringe. Today's story comes from the relationship subreddit, posted by Helpful Koala 6996. He writes, "My wife kept flowers her affair partner sent. I'm a 38-year-old guy, and I'm upset that my 38-year-old wife kept flowers sent to her work from the guy she had an affair with. The affair ended 6 months ago, and I felt that we're finally getting to a place where I don't actively distrust her. She's a teacher, and they were delivered yesterday, her first day with students for the semester. She called me between classes to thank me for sending her black roses and wanted to know what they symbolized to me. She was excited, genuinely excited, and I was confused. When I explained I didn't send them, she got really quiet and her tone dramatically dropped off. I asked if he sent them, and she said, 'I don't know. There's no note. But if you didn't, I don't know who else would.' I told her if they're from him to not accept them, to which she responded, she already accepted the delivery and doesn't know who they're from. Cue the start of her next class, and we don't talk about it again for the day. I did not specifically tell her to throw them away or anything like that, but I felt like my 'you can't accept those if they are from him' set my expectation clearly. Now, I had already planned a mini celebration for that afternoon when she got home. I had already bought her flowers for the house, cooked her favorite dinner, and bought her something she wanted for her classroom. We had a great afternoon, and the flowers at her work didn't come up. Today, she sends me a picture of her class, related to a text conversation we were having, and almost off frame, I can see the flowers on her desk. I asked if that's what I'm seeing, and she confirms. I asked if he sent them. She said he had sent her a text message later that day confirming they were from him. She's not blocked him. At this point, I'm like, what the actual fuck? Why would you keep them? She basically says they're just flowers, doesn't care about him at all, and you know how much I like flowers, and I've never gotten flowers at work before, so I decided to pretend they're from you. Then when I push back, she tells me I never made it clear I expected her to throw them away, but she says she will, and shortly thereafter sends me a picture of them bin up and stuffed into her small trash can. Now, I'm very upset about this, but I'm not sure if I'm blowing this out of proportion in my own mind. I'm fairly confident she's not been talking to him and that she's not been around him. She's had her location on her phone on since I decided to give this another chance, and I don't check her phone. I don't have the passcode, and told her I didn't want it when she offered it. That if I wanted to go through her phone, I'd do it in front of her. I'm wishing I could silently check her phone right now, but this will start a big fight if I demand to check it when she gets home. So now she came home after work rather upset. Usually I'm the calm one, but honestly, I was just seeing red. And we had a heated discussion where I rehashed my position, and she told me my feelings about it were nonsense. They were just stupid flowers, as she rolled her eyes. Then I told her this wasn't working for me. I actually meant the way she was treating how I felt about the flowers, but she took it to mean our reconciliation and stormed out of the house with a few things. In a later phone call, I offloaded a lot of shit. Most of it she deserved, but some of it she really didn't. I got a text from one of her teacher friends that she was at her house. She called me this morning while driving to work, and I really wanted her to apologize. She ended up telling me her cheating wasn't her fault and that I had some part in it too. While I'm fine admitting I'm not perfect and there are areas I can improve, I sure as hell am not responsible for her cheating. And to note here, I don't yell like ever, but I yelled at her this morning. Then I blocked her for most of the day, and I am frickin' done with her. I actually hired a lawyer during the affair, and we have a signed MSA. I had asked the lawyer not to send the final decree for signature after she asked for a second chance. I called the lawyer at lunch and told him to send it, and he wasn't surprised to hear from me, unfortunately. And the comments start off. Emotional 9 writes in, honestly, the fact that she kept his phone number and didn't block him is a huge red flag. That would be a must for me. He's showing he still has interest, and she's not doing anything to let him know she's not interested. Hopefully you're already in therapy. If not, it's necessary for both of you if you plan to stay with her. Revo63 writes, For myself, she would absolutely need to do two things. First, she would need to tell him not to attempt any further contact, and two, she would need to block him on all platforms. Anything less would not be working to regain your trust. Candyland Kiddo writes in, I had an ex blocked on most platforms, but he sent me $1,500 over PayPal trying to get my attention. I told my husband and we booked a weekend getaway that was fabulous. Holdfast02 writes, yes, the affair partner sending black roses, that's not going quietly into the night. That's sneaking around underneath the window waiting for a shot. And yeah, the fact that he's not blocked and is still free to contact her is a huge red flag. She needs to throw up clear and final boundaries to the guy. Otherwise, it's not over. Discreet Journeyman writes in, she knows she can do things like this and he'll just take it. Next affair coming. Another comment in that line, this is my thought. She's already pushed the boundaries far past what the average person would accept and forgive. She's testing boundaries again, which means she's intending to do something more. Duchess of Yanks writes, this is still an ongoing affair. It's emotional cheating and abuse. This time she's hurting her partner by what she doesn't do, i.e. refusing to close the door on an affair, instead of what she's doing. Max Fury 80 writes, she cheated, and if the flowers piss you off, it is her problem, not yours. The dude texted her, so she isn't blocking him, and that is a bigger problem as you can't trust her. If she thinks this is too far, then she's choosing her own wants over your marriage, and she already showed you she's good at that. And a deleted account writes, she doesn't care about your feelings, she doesn't respect boundaries, and as long as it makes her feel super duper special, she doesn't care if what she's doing is wrong, as was originally evident by her having the affair in the first place. At the end of the day, it's up to you regarding what you'll put up with. None of this looks good, my dude. Dragonmaster97 writes, intentional disrespect after infidelity isn't an immediate disqualification from any reconciliation attempt, much less a second chance. Your ex sounds like she has a humiliation kink. All right, Reddit readers and listeners, what do you all think? How bad is this? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for listening.